Delivery for the doctor. And remember, if you like it, kerblam it. Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today we're moving on to Kerblam. So, what is Kerblam about? Well, to put it into context, Kerblam is a whole story about a postal office, and it has a really nice cameo of Lee Mack. Our story follows when the Doctor gets a random delivery from Kerblam, which is a fez. The Doctor then begins to investigate when she realizes that underneath the fez there is a note that says that they are in danger and someone needs them to help. They arrive and infiltrate the postal service on the moon that Kerblam is based on and begin to work as workers until they can find out exactly what's going on. The Doctor becomes really good friends with a young girl called Kira, and Graham becomes really good friends with a young lad who's fallen in love with Kira. However, what he doesn't realise, Graham, at the time is that he is right next to the infiltrator who is getting ready to come up with a chemical weapon to destroy all the parcel receivers on his home world. This is all a revenge plot based on his revolt for workers' rights. Half of the system is all done by robots, which is what infuriates him the most, and so he wants to get back at them by essentially killing off a lot of people. However, the one thing our young boy doesn't take into consideration is by upgrading everyone who works in the postal office, it turns out that Kira will be one of his victims. After she is dead, he finds himself in a situation in which he has nothing left to lose. He sends all the malfunctioning Kerblam robots all to be delivered. However, the Doctor has already tampered with a robot that links to his system and has made them all stay where they are, getting ready to open their parcel of chemical weapons right in this bunker beneath the base. However, Charlie Boy is in the middle of all of it, so he's about to get the blast. They try to scream to get him to come back, but it's too late when the bubble wrap is unboxed. The robots have to comply with their programming. By the end of the episode, we find out that Lee Mack was killed off at some point in the story. Yaz decides that they should take the necklace back to the daughter of Lee Mack's character as a kind of symbol that he loved her. So, Kerblam as a story, what did I think of it? It's a very interesting story. It's wild, it's bombastic, and most importantly, it's definitely very political in its ways. Kerblam is a nice kind of montage to this idea of postering the idea of what does happen in the real world, and that is that robots and a lot of automation takes a lot of people's jobs. It is not uncommon to think that someone in one of those jobs might rebel to make a statement. However, I do really like the interesting concept of them using bubble wrap. Why? Because it's so simple, and it is definitely something undetectable that people wouldn't take into consideration that could be used as a weapon. It's also a very key moment that at the end of the episode we find Ryan almost popping a bubble, but we realise that he knows what the bubbles do now, so he doesn't try it. The Doctor finds herself in a conflict, not only about the fact of how her conduct was with a lot of the people in charge of the company, but also at the fact that she couldn't save Kira quick enough. I really like the idea that this story is a big story about consequences. However, I feel like there was a little bit of too many deaths in this story. Kira, I could understand. Lee's character, I could understand. But we got to kind of this pushing point of, did we really need to kill off Charlie? Fine, it is kind of a this is your consequence of your actions moment, but it's also a kind of moment that we don't really get him to have a chance to turn a new leaf over. He was just a scared individual doing something that he thought was right. Yes, his motives and his views are definitely not ones to be applauded over, but that doesn't necessarily make him the bad guy. And for that reason, I give this about a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, you beautiful people. And remember, if you like it, kerblam it.